Hello, you fine folks, and welcome back. This is episode 26. So, unfortunately, I got roped into a hike today. I hate hiking, but if I have to do it, you're all coming along as well. We're gonna go up to North Van. I think we're going to go Deep Cove and then hit up some breweries on the way back, and then stop by Park for a Friday night session. We're starting today with $6,581. We're almost there, guys. 93,000 more to go. So close. I'll see you guys in the next clip. Welcome to Park Casino. This is the first hand that we have, and it's a good one. It's pocket aces. There's a limp, so we're going to bump it up to $15, and it folds all the way around to the big blind, who re-raises to 50. Nice. Under the gun folds, and back on us. Definitely going to put on the 4-bet here. I like about 2.2x in position, so I go about 120 here. Usually around like 1/4 of my stack. And even better news, he decides that's not enough, and he's all in. Nothing to do here but call. Off to a pretty good start of the session. Flop comes down 10, 9, 4, 2 diamonds, another 4, and a 3. We're probably good here. And he shows ace king. Nice. Okay, this is quite a while later, but we picked up another playable hand. It's pocket jacks. We got a limp and then low jack, who's a reg, raises to 15, button overcalls. Definitely going to want to squeeze here with pocket jacks, so I make it 60. Folds back to the original limper, who jams. This guy has been all in about 20 times in the past hour, so he could have anything. Then low jack, ISO jams, and then button gets out the way, and now we've got a pretty tough decision. We're getting a really good price, $230 to win 700. It's pretty close. Like, I don't know. I think I just got caught up in how good of a price it would be. But he's just, any hand he's doing this with, best case scenario, we're flipping. And worst case scenario is queens plus. He's never got like ace 5 suited to do this here, right? Because he still has to beat mid position. But I toss in the call. I think it's quite a big mistake. And off to a king 8-8 rainbow flop, turns to 6 spades, and river is the deuce of diamonds. I show, and low jack does have the pocket queen, so bit unfortunate there. Easy come, easy go. Okay, on to the next hand. We have 8-9 of clubs facing 3 limps. We're in the big blind. We're going to bump this up to $20, and we get 2 callers, so 3 ways to a flop, which comes down pretty sweet. 9-7-6, 2 hearts. So we got top pair, open ender. I like to check out a position. This board is going to smash everyone, and our hand isn't really strong enough for 3 streets, so I'm going to check, allow them to bluff with, a worse pair plus flush, pair plus straight draw, etc. The middle position sizes up to a $45 bet here into 2 players. Low jack folds. Against this sizing, I'm not going to check raise. I'm just going to call and play a little bit defensively. And so off to a turn, which isn't great. The jack of spades. It doesn't change too much, but it is an overcard. I check it, and middle position checks back. So off to a river, which is the 5 of clubs. So we make our straight, and now we're only losing to 10-8, which would definitely be betting the turn. So I'm going to lead here for value. It doesn't have to be too big. I make it 85. I think I like it a little bit smaller than this. And middle position goes for the raise. It's 225. Take it over for a bit, but we're probably just chopping here. I can't imagine him not betting 10-8 on the turn. That'd be insane. So I'm not going to get him off a chop. So I just chuck in the call, and he shows ace 8 of diamonds. Bad river. This time we've got pocket kings. Looking down at a $10 cutoff raise. Button is called. We're in the small blind. I bump it up to $45. Big blind folds, and they both make the call. So 3 ways to a flop. Comes down ace, queen, 5. It's always an ace. Always. Gonna start off with a small bet here as I would with all my hands, so $45, and only the button calls. Off to a turn, which is the 8 of hearts. Not great. I check it over and he checks it back. Off to a river, which is the 3 of hearts. So, I don't know, looks all right. But I'm just going to continue with a check and hoping he's going to check it back. He does not. He bets 60. Such a good price. But he's just never bluffing here. He's never betting a queen here, ever. Like, this sucks, but we have to fold. There's not much to it. It really sucks. So I make the very nitty fold, and he doesn't show, but I don't think we were good there. Okay, we're on to the second session now. Very, very card dead up to this point. Have not really played too many hands. So when I get King 9 offsuit on the button facing 2 limps, this looks pretty good. I'm going to bump this up to $18, and we do get 2 callers, so 3 ways to a flop of 9, 8, 3, 2 spades. We'll check it over. Going to start with a small bet here. I make it 20, and only the cutoff calls. Off to a turn, which is pretty bad. 8 of hearts. He checks it to me. I'm just going to check this back and play some rivers. River's good, though. River's a 9 of diamonds. Nice. And even better news, he leads out for $60. Against this sizing, we're just going to want to min raise here. Either he has a 9 or he doesn't. So all my value, all my bluffs are going to want a small sizing here. So I make it 120. And he snap folds his 3. I think he had 3-4 suited. All right. Good start to the session, even though we're like 2 hours into it. In the final hand of this session, we have pocket aces. The under the gun straddle is on, middle position has called, so I'm going to bump this up to $25. Small blind gets out the way, and big blind, good news, re-raises us to 105. Pretty good. Folds back to me. This size is pretty big. There's no 4-bet sizing I can make it that's not all in. And this guy is a 2-5 reg, so I imagine his 3-bet range is a lot wider than just kings and queens and aces here. So for those reasons, I'm actually going to decide to trap here some of the time. And this is one of those times. So I call the 105, and we're off to a flop, which comes down ace 7-3, 2 clubs. Pretty big action killer. And he does start off with a check, so doesn't look like my trap is going to work, but we're just going to check it back. Off to a turn, which is the king of spades. Maybe hit this. So he now bets $75. Just going to continue with the trap here. I call, and off to a river, which is the 10 of diamonds. So losing only to queen jack here, which is possible for him. And he still bets, and it's $275. Only got $75 behind, not much of a decision here. I'm going to go all in. He calls pretty quickly. We show, and he hit the pocket kings. Brutal turn for him. Yeah, that's going to be it for this session. I think we had about like 1,100 stack, but it got whittled down to like 700 or so. Just a lot of raising flops, calling 3-bets, and whiffing. But still booked a win for this session, and pretty nice to be on the right side of that cooler. All right, first hand of the final session. We're looking at a limp and an early position raised to 12. I've got pocket 8s on the button, so I make the call as well. Big blind also calls, and so does the original limper, so 4 ways to a pretty nice flop. Queen, queen, queen. We flop a full house. Checks the original raiser, who bets $25, and only I make the call, so off to a turn, which is the deuce of diamonds, doesn't change anything. And he once again bets $25. I don't believe this. So I make the call, and off to a river, which is the 9 of diamonds. And he checks it over to us. Now, I think we're going to be good most of the time here. Some of the times we would have hit the 9 and checked to play pot control, but I'm going to go for some thin value from an ace that just doesn't believe. So I bet $45. Thanks for a little bit, and tosses in the call. We show, and it's good. Nice. This next hand, we make a pretty questionable open, 5-4 suited under the gun to $12. And the cutoff, the button, and both the blinds make the call. So we're 5-handed to a beautiful flop. Queen 6, 7, 2 diamonds. We flop an open ender and a flush draw. When it checks to me, I'm going to start with a small bet here. I make it 20. Cutoff makes the call, and now button raises to $60. All right. Small blind folds, and big blind just jams her remaining stack for 104. Now it's back on me. Since we do have to win this, I don't think there's any sense in jamming here. We're only going to get called by better, and we still have to make our hand. We have 5 high, and we have to win. So I make the call. Cutoff also makes the call, which is alarming. When they call like this, I think they're probably got a higher flush draw, right? I think big blind's probably got something like a queen here. Button's probably got like 2 pair, maybe a set. So a little worried there. And then button goes ahead and rejams all in for 190. So this is my read on the situation. This is silly, but I think big blind has a queen. I have a open ender with a really good flush draw. I think cutoff has a higher flush draw than I do. And I think button has a set or 2 pair. So folding's not bad. I don't mind folding here. I think calling's okay, but probably not. But I think if we jam here, cutoff can't call with their higher flush draw. But this is also live, and they might just get caught up in the moment and still call with their higher flush draw anyways. But after some deliberation, I decide to go with my read that I'm going to jam and get cut off of a higher flush draw. So I'm all in. Cutoff doesn't think for too long and makes the call. Damn it. Well, now we're in a massive $1,500 pot 4 ways. Off to a turn looking for an offsuit 3. And we get the 9 of hearts. Not great. Not great. 10-8 of diamonds now got there. So off to the river, which is Jack of diamonds. So we do make our flush. Let's see what everyone had. Big blind had the other open-ended straight draw. So thank God she only had $100 in her stack. I've got 4 or 5 suited, so I got a lower flush. Cutoff had ace queen with the ace of diamonds. And button had a set of 6s. So big blind wins 476, and I take down the remaining 1,054. Not my best play. I'll be the first to admit it, but happy that one worked out for us. All right, our table broke, so I'm at a new one now. We are looking at 3 limps, and I have pocket 5s in the cutoff. I'm going to bump this up to $20, and we do get 2 callers with both the limpers. So 3-handed to a flop of Jack, Jack 3. Pretty nice. Checks to me, I'm going to start with a small bet here. I make it 20, and only the low jack calls. So off to a turn, which is the 10 of spades. It's all right. He checks it to me. I don't think there's much sense in betting here. Yeah, so I'm just going to check this back, and we see a horrible river. The 10 of diamonds. We now have 5 high. Now this player leads up for $25. I don't believe this at all. When the board's double paired like this, I usually like to use a min raise, but I think that that's a mistake here. I was thinking about going to about 120 just because the bet is so small, and I just don't think he has anything. But I only do a min raise here, and after a little while, he tosses in the call. So we're not going to win this one, and he shows King Deuce offsuit. He went for the river bluff. We tried to rebluff him, and then he called with his bluff, which is better than our bluff. Damn it. Very nice hand. Very nice. So in this final hand, we are once again playing against the same player as the last hand. He has been crushing us, just flopping trips, turning trips, just crushing us. But the under the gun straddle is on. 2 players have limped, and I raise it up to $25. I think I missed one of the limps. It should have been 30. And we get 4 callers, so we are 5 ways to a flop with kings. Comes down pretty nice though. 10 deuce deuce with a flush draw. We do have the king of clubs. When it checks to me, I'm going to start with a small bet here of $40. Player to my left calls, button folds, under the gun folds, and now the kid tries to raise me, but unfortunately does it in a string bet and it's not allowed, so they just warrant it as a call for $40. I don't believe this guy's raises, by the way. Like they're nothing. So not worried about mid position, but pretty worried about cutoff. So we're off to a turn, which is the 4 of diamonds. Middle position now leads because he wanted to raise, so I think it's fine. He bets $40 again. Now against him, I would definitely be re-raising, but with a cutoff behind, I'm just worried he's trapping with 10s or ace deuce. So I'm just going to play cautiously. I make the call. Cutoff also makes a call, so now I'm really worried. Off to a river, which is the 5 of diamonds. Middle position now checks. I'm just going to check this back. I'm so worried about cutoff. And unfortunately, cutoff checks back. So it looks like he wasn't trapping at all. We're probably good here until middle position shows ace deuce offsuit. And he is going to win this one as well. That's a wrap on episode 26. This video took nearly 20 hours of poker to get enough hands for the video. Very, very, very slow session, but some really interesting hands. We started today with $6,581. We are going to end today. I'm not going to say it to the end. First session, we played a park. In for 400, out for 467 for a win of 67. Second session was at Villa. In for 400, out for 932 for another win of 532. And finally, a final session at Grand Villa, also in for 400, no revise at all. And we were out for 700 for a win of 300, bringing the cumulative win up to $899 across the 3 sessions. This also marks 8 consecutive winning sessions. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. Hopefully we can keep the streak going for as long as possible, but we'll see. So the bankroll started at $6,581. It's going to end at $7,480. Things are looking pretty good. We might be able to play some 2-5 over at Hard Rock and Coquitlam when they have an 800 max buy. It's a little bit out of the ways, but maybe I'll make the trek one day. Thank you once again so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.